On the evening of September 4th, a woman collapsed on the floor of a restaurant called Saffron and Salt on the west side of the city. She was 26 years old. The seizure lasted 47 seconds. When the paramedics arrived, her so-called best friend was standing 6 feet away, phone pressed to her ear, laughing. That woman was me. And the part I have never told anyone, the part that sits in my chest like a stone I swallowed on purpose, is that I deserve to be there. My name is Maya. 17 months ago, I found a text thread on my fiancé, Devin's phone. I wasn't snooping. His phone buzzed face up on the nightstand, and I saw a name I recognized before I could look away. Tanya. My best friend since the 9th grade, my maid of honor, the woman who drove 2 hours in a blizzard to bring me soup when I had mono. The preview said, tomorrow. Same place. Don't tell her. I put the phone down, walked to the bathroom, ran the tap so Devin wouldn't hear me breathing like that. And then I made a decision that I told myself was smart. Calculated. Justified. I decided not to confront either of them. Not yet. I decided to watch. I told Elena, my older neighbor who has heard every version of every story a person can have. She set her tea down very carefully and said she didn't think this was a good idea. She used the phrase eating yourself from the inside. I smiled and told her I had it handled. I didn't have it handled. But I was so convinced I was the wronged party. Completely, categorically wronged. That the idea of being anything other than a brilliant, controlled, wronged woman felt unbearable. So I chose the role, and I played it for 6 months. 6 months of smiling at Tanya across brunch tables while mentally cataloging her tells. The way she turned her phone screen down when Devin's name came up. The way she'd laugh a little too hard when I talked about the wedding. The time she suggested we push the date back because weddings are so stressful. Why rush? I noted it all. I built a case. I had a folder on my laptop called Tax Documents 2023. It was not tax documents. The closest I came to breaking was month 4. Tanya and I were walking back from a farmer's market, bags heavy, sun out, and she linked her arm through mine the way she had since we were teenagers. I almost said it. The words were right there. I know, and I have everything, and I want you to look me in the eye right now. My throat tightened. My jaw did something complicated. She asked if I was okay, and I said I was tired, and she said we should do a spa day, just us, and I said that sounded perfect. I went home and sat in the shower until the water ran cold. Month 5 nearly ended it a different way. Devin came home distracted, edgy in that specific way that meant he'd seen her, and I was halfway through asking him about his day when I realized I had stopped performing. My voice had gone flat. He looked at me the way you look at a painting you suspect has changed. You seem different lately, he said. I felt the whole construction tremble. And then I smiled. Not the warm smile. The warm smile takes energy. This was smaller, tireder. And I said I was just stressed about the venue deposit. He accepted it. I went back to being invisible inside my own life. That was the moment I made the one active choice I allow myself credit for. The next morning, I forwarded every screenshot, every saved message, every timestamp detail from the folder to my own secondary email account, a backup. A record that existed somewhere outside his orbit, outside her reach. If the performance collapsed before I was ready, the evidence would survive it. It was a small act, but it was mine. Here is the thing about playing a role that requires you to suppress every instinct you have. Your body starts keeping score. I wasn't sleeping. I'd stopped eating regular meals without noticing. I was running on the specific fuel of righteous anger, and I want to be clear, I thought I was fine. I thought I was handling it brilliantly. I was not fine. I was running a 6-month simulation of my own life, and I had stopped living inside it. The dinner at Saffron and Salt was a Tuesday in September. Tanya had suggested it. I remember she was wearing the green earrings I bought her for her birthday, and I sat across from her and smiled and asked about her work, and she lied to my face for 45 minutes over shared plates of lamb and flatbread. She was good at it. I'll give her that. She had a specific warmth in public, a practiced softness that made people want to trust her. I had trusted her for 12 years. I kept smiling. I ordered a second glass of wine I didn't touch. And then the room tilted. That is the only way I can describe it. The sound went strange and distant, and then I was on the floor, and the floor was cold, and there were voices above me that I couldn't organize into sentences. I was not unconscious. That is the part nobody tells you about certain seizures. You can be completely aware of what is happening to you and completely unable to respond to it. I heard Tanya say, quietly but clearly, that someone should call 911. And then I heard her walk away from me, heels on tile. 6 steps. And then she was on the phone, and she was not talking to 911. She was talking to Devin. She told him Maya was on the floor. Yeah, it looked like a seizure. She was waiting for the ambulance. And here is the part. She laughed. A small sound. Private. the laugh of a person who thinks they are alone. She told him she'd call him from the hospital, that she loved him. She couldn't wait for this to be over. And the this she meant was me. I lay on the restaurant floor and I heard my best friend of 12 years tell my fiancé she loved him while I was seizing 4 meters away. I want to say that was the moment I understood something profound about myself. It was not. The first thing I felt was satisfaction. I had my confirmation. The case was complete. The cold, controlled voice I had been living inside for 6 months said, "Good. Now you have everything." That was the moment I should have felt horror at myself. I didn't. Not yet. Elena came to the hospital. She sat with me while they ran the tests and she held my hand and she did not say "I told you so," which was more than I deserved. She asked me what I was going to do. I told her the plan. All of it. The folder. The evidence. The way I was going to dismantle Tanya, specifically and surgically. Elena listened. She looked at me the way you look at someone reciting a detailed plan to renovate a house that is already on fire. I went home. Devin was there. He looked concerned, and I let him be concerned, and I sat on the couch and I felt something shift. Not toward him, not toward forgiveness, toward me. Toward the question I had been refusing to ask for 6 months. What exactly was I protecting by waiting? The honest answer arrived like a door swinging open in a room I thought was a wall. I wasn't protecting evidence. I wasn't being strategic. I was holding onto the version of my life where I was the wronged party, blameless and brilliant, because the alternative was admitting something worse. For 6 months, I had chosen the performance over the actual living of my life. Every dinner I smiled through was another dinner Devin and Tanya had covered by my cooperation. My surveillance was also my consent. I had watched my own life get stolen and called it research. That is not the story I wanted to tell about myself. A cleverer protagonist would have confronted them in week 1, burned it down, walked out with her self-respect intact. I waited 6 months because I wanted to be spectacular about it. Because I wanted the reveal so thorough, so airtight, so devastating that no one could ever say I had been foolish. What I had actually done was be foolish for twice as long. I called Elena the next morning. She answered on the second ring. I told her I wasn't going to send the folder. She was quiet for a moment and then she said she thought that was right, not because Tanya didn't deserve it, but because the folder was the last thing keeping me in the story and the story had already ended. I left Devin on a Thursday. Left the apartment key on the kitchen counter, the ring on top of it. Took my laptop and the box of things from my desk and drove to Elena's and sat in her kitchen while she made tea and neither of us said very much. Tanya sent 7 texts over the following week. I read all of them. Didn't respond to any. Not because I was being strategic. Because I had nothing left to say that would have helped anyone, including me. The folder still exists. I never sent it. I keep thinking I'll delete it and I keep not deleting it. That's the part I haven't resolved. Maybe I'm still holding it the way you hold a door open for a room you're not walking back into. Not to go in, just to prove you could close it if you chose. Elena's kitchen light has a flicker that she's been meaning to fix for 2 years. I noticed it the night I came to stay. I notice it every morning I'm still here. Some things you just sit with. The light flickers. The tea goes cold. You didn't do it right. You know that now. And knowing doesn't move like you thought it would. It doesn't lift or release or resolve. It just settles, like sediment, like a stone. Like the specific silence of a decision you can't take back. I played the long game and lost myself doing it.